So the TPT account that I was mentioning that I'm experimenting on with that get done in 2 to 3 day approach, I think we're just going to go for 2 days and call it good. We're at 158, 918. So that one I only got like just over $80, and I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's day 5, so I don't have a choice. This is a brand new eval because remember with TPT, and then this other account that I had trading on the pivot point is already done now, and the market hasn't even opened. So I'm over 700 on the day. So as it concluded its last trade and was about to get a new signal, it said, "Hey, I have a new signal. Are you over 700? Yes. Okay, flip it out." So that way I'm not stopping all the time at 700 even. When I get to 700 even, I was looking at having a mechanism to lock in a certain amount of profit, like lock in 600, and then let it keep running until it gets its next signal. When it gets its next signal, it would blip out the trade. So some days, and then if it ends the trade and it's at 600, well, I'm not at daily profit objective yet. So it's allowed to take another trade. So if the other trade runs $250, I'd be at 850. And when it gets the next signal, blip it out. So we're working on the mechanics of that kind of stuff too, which is, takes a lot of programming to put in those kind of specific P&L objective rules. Hang on, I got some Apex accounts that are 2K up on the day. Let me flip these, take some position size off. That's way good for the day. Yeah, it's pretty good action last night. Okay, we got another account here. I'm going to take off some positions. If you saw how many desktop PCs and screens I'm watching every day now, because this pivot point stuff is just a monster for going in and finishing stuff quick. And as I get all this data on best time frames and stuff, I can translate it over to the update that we're working on with the Momstrat, where we're going to allow you to trade the scalp dots automated to attack this same style of trading, this pivot to pivot style of trading. So anyhow, this is day 4's completed. If I wanted to, like I said, I could have easily finished this account in 2 days, but TPT makes you trade, they make you trade 5 days minimum. I would like to see it go to 3, but we'll see what happens. So some prop firms don't care. You can get done in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or whatever. It's just prop firm to prop firm has different rules. And TPT will let you have reserve forces. So even though you got 5 active Pro or Pro Plus accounts, you can still keep adding in additional accounts that you pass that are sitting in reserves if you need them. So I like that. So I've been going in and just playing with the pivot point approach, fully automated, in the exact same environment I would be as I'm trading eval and work on, hey, can we get to a point where, like clockwork, 3 days done, 3 days done, 3 days done. We don't care what size the account is, and we never get anywhere near any sort of account, daily drawdown or max loss. But and I've seen some people in our group, even with the Momstrat, go after on TPT, I'm going to go after like 4,400 and $95 like day 1, and then coast the rest of the days. You can do that because, and like here, one day I did 4,496.50. Matter of fact, it was running, and I kind of was like, oh God, I don't want to go over 4,500. So I went and blipped out the trade real quick, and I think I was at 4,518. So I took some trades to lose a little bit and get it down to 4,496.50 on day 1, because I was like watching so many accounts doing so many things. And then let's go over here real quick. So right away, day 1, start at 150, and then you can see 154. So 40, basically, going for 4,500-ish day 1. Then the next day I throttled back the size, got another 20 some $100, and then, kind of coasting from there. There's 158,747. We got to get to 159. So Remember, though, you can't trade automated on your actual prop account. You have to trade master accounts automated, and we train how to set up a master account. And then you can talk out that activity through trade copiers, trade sync, or affordable indicators, or whatever you're using to your prop account. Because these prop firms, if they see you running automated strategies on the platform they gave you, with the feed they gave you, and when you get to live mode, they're going to disqualify your account. Now, some care about automated trading, some don't, so you have to follow your rules. So the important point, though, my main programmer has kind of gotten addicted now to this style of trading. He sees the power in it. He's been going off and working on different routes because he trades prop accounts too. And so anyhow, we're taking the pivot point trading system for a website that he has. We're going to put the entire pivot point trading system and some additional tools like the PPG1 indicator, the automated strategy. We have the adaptive trend cloud, and there's going to be some other indicators that he put together. And he's going to put that on the website and manage the whole thing. The nice thing for me, I'm not going to get charged for ongoing programming expenses anymore, because basically it's my tools, my concept. He's just going to manage everything and do all the admin and all that, because this is a really powerful approach. So the nice thing for the Algo IQ group, he's also working on updating the strategy. So we got a little behind on that because we were digging into the optimization and settings work on this, get done in 2 to 3 days, because all of that will translate over even to doing the mom signals automation when we turn on the ability to trade scalp dots. Because with the AIQ1 indicator and using scalp dots, we can catch these pivot point trades almost in the exact same way or similar way to what we're doing here with the PPG1 indicator and related. So anyhow, so that'll be on its own website. And if you have any questions on access to that, just for now, contact me. He's going to have his own email address and all that tied to his website. But for now, any questions related to the pivot point trading, you can let me know. Now, let me go and kind of show you a hint at how an Algo IQ guy could trade the scalp dots and trade those automated, kind of exactly like we're doing right here. Okay, and I'm so glad I did this because I kind of had a vision, but when I built the AIQ1 indicator for Algo IQ, which I have on here, I built it knowing that at some point I want to look at it running on symmetrical Renkos. In this case, I have it on Unirenko or Ninja Renko or Livewire Renko or Joe Blow's Renko, whatever. It doesn't make any difference as long as you can make the Renkos symmetrical. So right here, I have it running, and you can see now there's the dots, which we call scalp dots. You can see them on the chart. And if I go into the AIQ1 indicator, I can optimize the settings here to add some step size smoothing. So I could get it to a point where I literally only have maybe one maximum of 2 dots per rotation off each pivot. So this isn't really on anything like really optimized. I just kind of threw this together and started working with it. But a pivot point or a person on the Algo IQ program on some optimized settings could basically be trading from dot to dot to dot to dot now, of course, on optimized settings, and do the same thing we're doing with the PPG1 indicator, creating the dots. Instead, we already have the scalp dots built in. And I even have two very detailed training videos on another way to trade with the scalp dots in the Algo IQ program. So if we go into the Algo IQ, we're in the main room. We got the trade examples room. let's go into the Algo IQ Start Here, very structured training room. And way down at the bottom, I have Scalp Dots plus Super Bands Part 1 training, Scalp Dots Part 2. So how to trade Scalp Dots trades when you're outside of the bands. And remember, all of our indicators have outputs. So with a third-party tool, you could go create your own, hey, I'm outside of the bands, I'm getting a scalp dot, outside the upper bands, put on a short, here's my stop, here's my target, and play back and forth. Or you can just trade scalp dot trades irregardless of the superband's positioning. So all these capabilities will be added because now we're going to go in and we're enhancing the current automated strategy that the AIQ group has, and we're adding another mode to the mom strat. So all kinds of good stuff there. And I don't know, maybe we'll have that automated strategy done by tomorrow. We got a little busy on the weekend on some other stuff after we found some really, really good settings for that done in 2 to 3 day trade mode on the pivot point approach. So anyhow, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. I know it's a lot of content, but just going to let you know, we're going to take what we're doing with the pivot point group. My programmer is going to take the whole program and run with it on his own website with its own email address and really see how far out the overall approach. I'm going to focus with the programmer on getting the update done, hopefully by tomorrow. And then the current AIQ_mom_strat, we're going to just change the name of the automated system for Algo IQ to AIQ_strat, and then you'll have the mom signals mode and you'll have the scalp dots mode. And the scalp dots mode is pretty easy. It'll basically be, let's say you're on optimized charts. You get a scalp dot, it'll put you in a long, and you'll have the same ability: stop, target, break even, threshold, all the same stuff you have with the mom strat, but you basically can just play ping pong. Long, short, long, okay, I'm done. I'm over daily goal. And the nice thing, you don't really need to have a 8:32 start window, hey, take the first trade, because on optimized settings, you should just be getting all kinds of signals. The key will be optimizing it and getting you on a high enough time frame. So even if the morning opens a bit choppy, you'll do just fine. The distances between oscillations will have you not accumulating a bunch of negative P&L prior to just getting one little move that moves a little bit, and you'll be done for the day. So that's a huge value add and enhancement to the Algo IQ program. So anyhow, that's what I call a win-win situation. And then the nice thing, now that my programmer is going to have his own website, have his own email address, and really run with the program, we'll keep getting more and more data on what can translate well over to what we're continuing to expand on the Algo IQ program. And then a quick last second thing here. Really hoping the Tick Blaze group can get me the super bands so I can, in my hand in a form where it's doing exactly what it's doing on NT8. I'm really hoping if I could get that work all done by the end of the week, then I think the Tick Blaze group that's collaborating with me on getting these tools on their platform, we can finally get that thing launched. So we're wrapping up the mom signals part of the AIQ signal, so I can bless that. We already have the AIQ1 bars. Once that super bands is done, I told them, let's just light the fire and launch it, and then we'll layer in the other stuff down the road. So it's getting closer, and there's even a bigger push now on the programming side to get this wrapped up, because it's taking too long. But I want to make sure it's operating the same way on that platform, visually and the plot style and everything. So it's not like acting one behavior on one platform different than what we're used to on platforms like Quantower or NT8, if that makes sense. So there you have it. If you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com. some big content later on